everybody, welcome to Slone Stitches. If you are new here, my name is Jess. I live in a suburb of Cincinnati, Ohio, and this is my channel all about cross stitching. If you're a returning viewer, welcome back. How you been? How's life been treating you these last couple of weeks? Things here have been pretty good. We're back in the swing of school. So school's back in session. My son loves it. Loving middle school. He is back in the swing of volleyball, loving that. He's getting that overhand serve down. So his goal is to use it in a game this season, but we'll see how that works. They've had one game so far because we didn't have any games over the Labor Day weekend, and they won. So that was exciting. His next game is on Saturday, so fingers crossed. Other than that, we haven't been doing a whole lot around here. We were enjoying the pool the last few days that it was open and still doing a bunch of projects around the house. We're going to start working on our backyard because we want to have a bonfire in October. So we are really feeling the fall vibes around here. We're going to be putting up our fall and Halloween decorations over the next week or two, and I am fully invested in fall stitching right now. I've been kitting up a bunch of projects because I know the price of DMC is probably about to go through the roof, or already has, I think, in some shops. So wanted to get ahead of that. So made a huge list, kitted up like 8 different projects, including a full coverage that I don't know when I'm going to start. And went to Michael's, bought a bunch of DMC, pretty much cleaned out some of the colors because apparently I have a very similar color palette that I like to stitch with in a lot of my projects. So I just wanted to have more stash than what I have of thread, because I know I have enough fabric and patterns to last me a really long time. So just trying to be a little proactive with ordering floss or buying floss. So, maybe a word of the wise. I think it might be too late. Some places might not have raised the prices yet, so maybe check it out if you need to kit up any projects for your fall, Christmas, spring, next summer, any of that kind of stitching. I have weird light today. It's very sunny, and I'm filming slightly earlier in the morning than I would usually film, just because I'm going to try and get this filmed, edited, and posted all before I have to leave to go pick my kiddo up from school. And I leave about 1:30 to go sit in the car line. And so I was kind of hoping I could do that. Otherwise, I'm going to have to finish it up before I take him to volleyball practice later tonight. We have volleyball tonight instead of on Monday because of the holiday. So it kind of threw me off a little bit. So the lighting's a little weird. I did try to hang like a kitchen towel over the gaps in the blinds in this window to try and keep some of it off, and it's at least blocking it from my face. It's kind of still down here, but I don't think it's going to affect us too much. Well, let's see, anything else? Old business. StitchCon waitlist, that opens tomorrow, Wednesday, September 3rd at noon. So very excited about that. I was talking to people in my stitching group and my friends that I sat with this year at StitchCon, figuring out which weekend we're going to go for on the waitlist. So have my alarm set. If you're watching this before then, set your alarm if you're interested in StitchCon in 2026. And other than that, I think we'll just get straight into stitching. I have quite a few whips to show. I have a new start. No finishes this last couple weeks, although a couple of things are getting kind of close. And then I have all kinds of plans to show. Like I said, I'm very excited about fall and Halloween stitching, and also looking forward to Christmas stitching. So we have a lot to cover. So let's get right into it. The first project that I want to show is the wolf from Cottage Garden Samplings. This is my car line piece right now. So I started it on my son's first day of school because his mascot for middle and high school is the wolves. So I thought this was perfect. I'm stitching this on a piece of 36 count linen and nothing from Mystic Fabrics. And basically it is what I said it was. I take it in the car line. When I am picking him up from school, I have to get there around 1:20, 1:30. to beat the huge rush of people. If you don't get there and wait the 45-ish minutes, because he gets out at 2:15, before then, you're going to be stuck in this slow snaking line of people that don't 100% understand how to use the car line. So I'd rather sit in it, relax, stitch, than deal with that mess. So this is where it was when, actually, no, this is not a new story. This is where it was when you saw it last time. And this is where it is now after another couple weeks of car line stitching. We're going to have to put something behind that. There we go. That's a lot of progress. 40 to 50 minutes at a time. This little guy. You can see his paw down there. I'm going to say it is not perfect. Sometimes the light is actually too bright, if that makes any sense. And I'm kind of chasing shadows in the car to be able to really not have it glaring off this fabric, because it's not shiny fabric, but you would think it was. It's a little hard to see. But he's looking really good. So obviously I had a lot of the outline before, so I finished up a bunch of outline down here with his paws and part of his belly, and did a bunch of fill-in and some of the ground over here. And I can't remember if I had this tree or not, but now I do. And I did notice at one point I had missed a hole and accidentally did parts of it over 1 instead of over 2. So there is a section where it's kind of fudged to get it back to where it needs to be, but I don't think you can tell. I don't think you can see where it is, and I'm not going to tell you where it is if you can't see it. So I will be working on him again this week in the car line. I usually just sit there and I watch Flosstube and I stitch. So you guys keep me company, you other Flosstubers. Thank you. So he's coming right along. I think he'll be one of my quicker finishes of any of the cottage garden samplings pieces that I've done. That's for sure. Just because I am dedicating time to him almost every weekday. So that's great. That for me. The next project I have to show is Ragnarok from Long Dog Samplers. This was my number 15 on my Whip Go board for August. This is where it was when you last saw it. I think during my whip parade, if I'm not mistaken. I don't think I've worked on it since my mid-year whip parade. This is on a piece of 32 count jobelan in Lazy River from Zweigart. And it's starting to get a little unwieldy. I am stitching this in 3 different colors of sulky and then anchor black for the ravens. And this is where it is now. I'll show you a full view and then we'll bring it in so you can see closer what I worked on this time. That actually looks really good with the fabric color too. That looks pretty true. So yeah, Ragnarok is coming along. I mean, it's a third of the way done now at this point, which is very exciting. I am going to have to order more sulky because I don't learn lessons well. If you've been here for a long time, you know all about my two-tone horse and my issues with sulky dialogues. And it's not that color that I have to order more of. It's the medium red. But I've had to do that again in the past with that color, and it's been fine. So fingers crossed. And I'm just going to order a whole ton of it. Like I said, I don't learn lessons well. So I will show you. Hopefully. I have cats jumping around everywhere. What I worked on. Basically, over here on the left side of the piece. Oh, is this lighting that bad in here today? That's not good. Anyway, I basically worked here. Up here, get all this done, down to this little creature. And look at the little squirrel. He's so cute. welcome. I just dropped my needle, but I see it. And then this is that big wolf. So I've started to get that big giant wolf in. I mean, we're getting places. I'm kind of going back and forth because if you've been here a while, you know that I have a Stitch Go board too, my little pet project where I use the same numbers that Jessie Marie calls for Whip Go, but I put in hundreds of stitches on my two of my larger projects. So my big full coverage Hade and then my modern folk embroidery reaching skyward. This one is probably my third biggest project. So I'm thinking about maybe putting it on Stitch Go a couple of times next year. I haven't quite decided. I don't know if I want to alternate the three of them because it would take away progress, the two that I've been kind of trucking my way through this year because of that board. So I don't know. Maybe I might throw it in 2 or 3 times just to touch it a couple extra times in 26 compared to what I've touched it this year. Or maybe I should just make a Ragnarok day. Sounds kind of weird, but maybe I should just pick a day every week or every 2 weeks and say, like, this is what I'm going to work on. I don't know. I'm still kind of in Stitch What You Want mode. So planning out these things for 2026 is kind of on the back burner of my mind right now. We'll get there. It's cyclical. It'll come back around. Next, I want to show, I worked on Kindred Friends from Heart and Hand. This is the Keepsakes exclusive that was designed for StitchCon this year. And we also have a exclusive border that we got in our guidebook at the retreat. Like I said, I just put in a day on it. It was easy stitching to take while I sat there and waited for volleyball practice to be over because volleyball practice is just slightly too far away to come back home. So when my husband doesn't go with me and we go to like dinner or something, I walk at the park right next to practice and then I stitch in my car. So that's where I am. So, I mean, we're getting there. I got the house is all in. All of this is in. She's done. I'm getting there. It's probably a little over half done. Plus I have to do the border. My friend Michelle just finished hers and she put all of our initials from our table in it. So I love that. My little 310 needle minder. She's the sugar cat at Keepsakes. And we know we love our cats around here, especially our black ones. Not that I'm playing favorites. It's one of the ones that's not black is sitting here staring at me like, especially the black ones, really? Sorry. Okay. So, oh, and I forgot to say, that's on all the called for. I kitted that up at StitchCon. So it's the called for threads. It's the called for 16 count aida in cookie dough from Needle Bling. All the called for stuff. Next is A Study in Nature from the Artsy Housewife. And I think this might be the project that people like the most out of everything that I'm doing. It always gets a huge response when I post about it, which I love. I think it's the fabric. I don't think it has anything to do with me. I think it's just the fabric choice. I started this on August 11th, 2024. So it's just celebrated its first birthday. It is over half done. This is on an 18 count aida in Rorschach test from the Digistitchery on Etsy. This is what it looked like the last time you saw it. And here it is now. Yeah. I mean, I see why people are kind of gaga over it. It's the fabric. The fabric does a lot for it. And I am going to be slightly tighter over on this edge than on this side. But I did that on purpose because I was centering this big splotch in the middle. So it'll come to about there, maybe here. One all framed up. it won't make a difference. I think I'm going to do a matte for it, so you'll be able to tell. Bring it in a little bit. So as you can see, I worked exclusively over here on this other wing and got a lot of progress in on it. This is with the DMC conversion, and then also I've changed a couple of the colors. So like this, I think, is supposed to be, oh, I'm going to be wrong. I don't want to. Let's see. I think the called for might be 3/8. Well, the called for sub is 3/865. Yeah. So the called for sub for the dinky dye is 3/865, and I'm using 3/866 just so it's a little more subtle. I didn't really want the stark white all throughout there, especially with this fabric. And then the iron bark, which is this like a maroony color in here, that was supposed to be converted to DMC 3031, and I did 3/857. So it's a vibe, and I like it a lot. So definitely want to get back to this one this fall because it does give me some really good fall vibes. So we'll see if I can make that happen. I have a ton of fall projects, a ton of Halloween projects that I want to stitch on. And as you'll see here in a little bit, quite a few new starts. It's fine. It's fine. Okay, next is my last Whip Go call for August. This is number 12. This was the Haunted Library from Lola Pro Cross Stitch. This I'm doing on a piece of 18 count Malachite from Fiber on a Whim, doing it 1/1 with DMC. This is where it was last time you saw it. And this is where it is now. Quite a bit of progress. Let me fold that one more time. Not to be quite this far away. It's smaller than I thought it would be, which is nice. But there's so much detail in it. I'm having so much fun. So you can tell, like with 4 days that I give myself on Whip Go projects, I really, like I got these books in, I got all of this in. So extended the haul up here, and these are going to be the bookshelves, of course. Got this cutie little pumpkin in. The candelabra here, and I got Dracula in. It's so fun. It's such a fun project. And this fabric does not photograph well for Instagram at all. And every time I post it, I'm like, this does not do this justice. This right here does it justice. It's this very rich green color, and I love it so much. So yeah, we're loving this. I love all of her patterns. I have her newest one, the Murder in the Pumpkin Patch, I think is what it's called. The marketplace release that just came out. I have that coming in my market order. So I'm hoping I'll have my market order before my next video in 2 weeks. Fingers crossed. I don't know if that's too optimistic or not, but can't wait to show everybody what I picked. I bought 5. So stay tuned. Okay. Like I said, we are fully into fall Halloween. The next one I picked was actually next in my rotation, which was, nice. So I really would like to touch everything in my rotation that I've not stitched on since my mid-year whip parade. I would like to touch in September and in November. So October will probably be fully reserved for Halloween, fall, and Whip Go, Stitch Go. And then December is always just reserved for Christmas, and then Whip Go, Stitch Go, of course. But in September and November, while I am going to stitch on fall and then Christmas, I also want to touch all of the other projects because I don't want to let anything languish for too long. I am over 40 whips now, which is not a lot for some people and used to feel like a ton to me. Right now it feels okay, But with everything that I have kitted up that I want to start in the next 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, like moving forward, even in 2026, I feel like I need to whip down a little bit. So we're going to do that. But anyway, I digress. Rest a while. Plum Street samplers. Cutie little fox. I know that Steph from Wild Fox Stitchery is hosting a fox stitch along, like anything with a fox in it, I think is the premise of that one. And I haven't officially joined, but I guess I should because this has a fox on it. I haven't stitched the fox yet. This is where it was when you last saw it at my whip parade. This is on a piece of 32 count lugana in Murmur from Picture This Plus. And here's where it is now. Needle minder is square in the way. It's not blocking anything, but it looks weird. Sorry. So you can see I continued down here, got the last of those acorns on that side in, got in those leaves and that flower. And I actually had to pick out, I had already started the handle to the little, I don't know, bucket vase container that he's sitting in. And I had it one too high. And I just knew that if I left it, even if I left myself a note, I probably wouldn't think about checking it and remember that I can't stitch this side the way it's charted. I'd have to stitch it exactly like I stitched this vine so that they would be even because it's supposed to be, you know, symmetrical. So I fixed it. It took me 20 minutes to frog it out because I didn't have this part in. I just took out this and then fixed the little vine so it was in the right spot. Well, it's looking really good. The color of this fabric isn't really coming through. It's a really pale orangish peachish color. So not really showing, and I should have started it. I'm aware. I could have given myself more allowance up here. I just think I measured with my heart that day and I was incorrect. That's okay. We're not worried about that. Very rarely do I worry about the margin unless I can tell that it's going to be so slim that you can't frame it at all. Even then, I mean, it wouldn't kill me to create a junk journal and start putting stuff in it. Okay, last whip to show before I show my new start is Autumn Drizzle from Pigeon Coop Designs. It is from his Cross Stitch in the Forest book. I don't know if I have a picture. I just pointed, but I really don't know if there's a picture online. So I'll just show you here. Very pretty. I'm doing this as a Christmas gift, although I love it so much. I don't know. I'll still give it. I might restitch it for myself. Even on the same fabric. This is an 18 count Aida in Raspberry Latte from Grace Notes Fabrics. And I would have enough to stitch it on this again. This was a remnant and I'm going to have a remnant of the. So this is where it was when you saw it last. So I pretty much had clouds, rain, mountains, and part of the floor, the ground, I guess, put in. And I spent a couple days working on it. And here's what it is. I love this. It's block stitching ish, so that's easy to follow, but there are so many little details with the use of negative space. Let me bring it in just so you can. Oh, I love it. Like, look at the tiniest little gaps in those trees. And this is on Aida, so I'm having to be really careful. I didn't pay enough attention to notice all of the 3/4 stitches. It's not a big deal. This Aida is very soft, and they go through the middle of them. The thread's very easy. I love that. I don't think it's going to take very long to finish it. I just need to finish this tree, and then there's flowers and different things down here, and the continuation of the river. And then it'll be done. So this is the second thing. Let me show you. So that's, she's almost done. This is the second thing that I have stitched out of this book. I love this book. I want to stitch pretty much everything in it, and I probably will over time. So love that. And hopefully the people that I'm gifting it to will also love it. If they watch this, they probably know it's for them because it's their vibe, but keep the suspense going. Okay, so my new start this past couple weeks is finally Medicine and Poison from the Witchy Stitcher. I have this in this cutie little bag that is covered in cat fur. Very cute. I bought this at Stitchin' in Indie from a little trunk show they had. And I am doing this on a gorgeous piece of 28 count linen from BeStitchMe. I usually do not stitch on 28 count anymore. Anything I do stitch on 28 count, typically I've had that in my stash for a really long time. But I bought this just recently with the intention of using it for this project because it was perfect and I didn't care what count it was. I was going to buy it. Like this specific piece, it was from a fight night and it was just the modeling and the colors are perfect. So 2/2 on the 28 count linen. I'm gonna hold it way back so you can see the vision here. So I started in the center because I wanted to make sure that red rusty color is where I want it on the piece. And it is. I am not a center starter, but for this project, I had to become one because needle minder means serious business because I wanted it where I wanted it. Trying to fold it so I can bring you in and show you what I did. I only spent a couple days on it, but it'll get a lot of love in September and October. That's for sure. And it's definitely going on WhipGo next year because I just adore it. So Edison. That's what we've got. We've got Edison. And then all this little accoutrement. Oh, so fun. I did get it to go into Pattern Keeper, which I was talking to Helen D about hers, and hers, when she bought it couldn't go into Pattern Keeper. She had a lot of trouble with it. I cannot imagine stitching this off of a paper pattern. Major props to her and everyone else that is doing it on paper, because this is a lot of color changes. It's a lot of little splotches of color in different spots, and there's like 5 different grays, tans, whatever in here, plus other colors. It's a lot. It's a lot to keep track of. So I'm really excited about this. The second I saw this pattern, I wanted to do it. And then like a month later, I saw this piece of fabric in Fight Night and was so excited. I like that. This might rocket straight into my favorite pieces list, maybe top 5. That's how much I adore this project. So that means it'll probably get a lot of extra love this fall. Let's just go through some plans. I really don't have a lot else to show except for plans. And they're, like I said, I kitted up so much stuff, you guys. And there were things that I already had kitted that, I don't know, it was a lot. So the first thing I'm going to show, I don't have kitted yet, but it is a plan to get it kitted and started probably in October. So kind of a little bit of haul. These are the only 2 pieces of haul that I would have had for this time anyway. If you have not bought the Witchy Stitcher's newest, or new first, right? I think her book, this Witchy Stitching book. This is amazing. Like, there are flip throughs. I am not going to flip through this. There are several out there already that are excellent. Buy this book. If you like Halloween stitching, and Meg's style at all, you need to buy this book. And honestly, the best part about it is that anyone could pick this up. If you've never cross-stitched in your life, you could pick this up. And it's a detailed how to cross-stitch in the front. I mean, the first 40-some pages are all about, maybe not 40, but close. How do you make bookmarks? How do you antique your fabric? How do you do these types of stitches? How do you do pinhead stitches? How do you backstitch? How do you start it? How do you end it? Like, just like all cross-stitch books for the most part, like actual, not booklets, but like thick ones like this, have that at the beginning. But this is the most in-depth I've ever seen. It's amazing. So anyway, the point to this is that I think I want to start the vintage Halloween Ferris wheel, which is this guy. That's one of my favorite patterns in the book. My other favorites, I mean, there's an actual blue million that I could call my favorites in here. I also really like this the ginger dead house. I might also do this on the same fabric, because what I'm about to show you is my BeStitchMe fabric of the month from August. I do the mix club. And this month we got the color version. So I am currently getting 25 count lugana. This is jack-o'-lantern. It is brighter than this by a mile. She's orange. She's real orange. But there's enough black outlining that I think that would look excellent on this. Both of them probably. I think the little ginger dead house would also look super cute on that. I think half of the projects in here would probably look pretty cute on this. Like the cover of the house, the Victorian haunt would pop on orange. Or like a really bright purple or green. But anyway, my 2 pieces of haul instantly into my plans for this Halloween fall season. That's for sure. Then into stuff that I've got kitted. So first things first is I want to take this stuff out of this bag and then show you this bag. This is from my friend Jessica at Lumi Stitch. I will put links and just information about all of her things in the description box below. She has a great YouTube channel, Lumi Stitch. She's got a fun Etsy shop where you can get all kinds of fun goodies. She's got a great Instagram where she posts a lot of fun stuff. And she's just a great human. She's very nice. And she sent me this really cute bag, and I instantly kitted up a Halloween project in it. So the bag is Nightmare Before Christmas themed. Isn't that cute? And it's got a cutie little zipper pull with the jack-o'-lantern. And then the back fabric is my favorite. Isn't that so cute? So the bag is just adorable. The attention to detail, like the stripes and everything, love it. So I have showed you before that I purchased Halloween game board from Calico Confectionery. And I am going to stitch that on this piece of pistachio from Atomic Ranch, which would also look great for that Ferris wheel, whatever. No, orange. Orange for the Ferris wheel, green for this. So a great piece of fabric. And then I also wanted to show, she sent me with the bag a couple of really cute little goodies. Like Augie, my black and white cat, loved this. He felt very seen. And then she also included a really cute floss ring and this little bat. And I'm going to turn the little bat button guy into a needle minder. Isn't that cute? So thank you, Jessica. And everyone should really go check out her store and her YouTube and her Instagram. And like I said, I'll have all of that linked in the description box below. She's a wonderful human and very kind, and I'm so excited to get started on this. Probably in October. I'll probably try to start the fall-ish projects earlier in September and then gear up more toward Halloween toward the end of the month and into October. But I'm happy to have that one ready to go. Let's see. We're just going to take them as I have them in here because I don't think they're in order. And hopefully you can't hear how squeaky this chair is. I don't know what the deal is here. So my friend Michelle, who was in my stitching group, and I, and maybe one or two other people, I think Paula from my stitching group might also be starting it with us. Sorry if everything just shook. A cat just jumped up here. We're going to start A Wavy Ride by Blackbird at our stitching group meetup this month. So the third Wednesday. Very excited about that. Michelle and I got this kitted up at StitchCon. We filled out a little form for the whole room and had them shop for us at Keepsakes. Ooh. So I have all of the called for Gentle Arts in here. And I am going to stitch this on this scrap of 36 count under the Sea Fabrics series. This is what I'm doing the bat on and maybe one other thing. I can't remember. But I still have a good chunk of it left. Let's see. It's stuck here. So A Wavy Ride is going to go on this. I think that's perfect. I am not doing the outer border. I don't know if it would fit on here with the outer border, but regardless, I don't really care about the outer border. I don't feel like it adds very much to it. So we're just going to do the inside border and all the fun stuff inside of it. And I am so excited to finally get this started. I have had this pattern for ages. So it feels good to know that here in a couple of weeks, really, I'll be getting it finally started. So very excited about that. It needs a Halloween bag because right now it's just in this Breakfast Club book sleeve. Okay. Next up that I kitted, I had already showed you, I think. This is from my wood stitch, and I've already showed this, but I am going to start it. So this is the wood cut stitch, which it's from Raven Coven. So I have all of that ready to go in here. It's going to get started soon, probably this month, on this 16 count coconut shell from BeStitchMe with this pirate and ribbon hand dyed, really pretty midnight blue floss. So that's going to get started. Very exciting. Like, they feel like new friends, these projects. Like, I've got all of my old friends still, but I am bringing new friends into our lives, and it's very exciting. All right, next is not actually a fall or Halloween project, but is a Christmas gift. I've decided to stitch a gift for my husband. This is Van Gogh Frog from Cherry Mary store on Etsy. These are great. There's a whole line of these. They're fantastic. So I'm not going to pull this out. It's just a very plain white even weave. And I've got all the colors. That's ready to go. Probably going to start that in the next week. Because I got to move. Even though it's little, I got to move. Then, I love this so much. This is the Sprouting Lupine Thunderstorm Nature Walk. I am going to stitch this twice. The very first one, I'm only going to do this frog under the sleeve. So just like a little small, and it's going to go on our little shelf that we have with the memorial stuff for my mom. And I am going to stitch it. It's not the called for, because the call for is a Picture This Plus. It's Alchemy, which I'm using for a different project. But I had this piece of BeStitchMe even weave that is from a grab bag. And I think it's perfect. Because I like the look of it on the blue, even though who just did it on a crazy looking fabric? Eli from Thick Threads, I think. you need to go look at his Instagram because it's amazing. It's a whole mood, and you need to go look at it if you haven't seen it already. Love it. Absolutely love it. But I do like the vibe of this. So the little guy we're going to do on this, we might do something a little wilder when I stitch the whole piece. But I just wanted to keep that vibe for just the little guy because it'll also kind of go with the decor on that shelf pretty well. So it works. And this is just in a book sleeve. You see me smack myself in the head with that. It's all gonna be okay. This next autumn piece is in a Christmas bag, a Christmas dinosaur bag from Little Boat 88. This is a vintage booklet. If I can get it out of here. So I'm gonna have to make a working copy of this and highlight and all the things. It's from this Seasonal Covered Bridges booklet from 1980 from Frame House Gallery. And I am going to be stitching, there are no photos in there, the autumn bridge, this one. I love it. My grandma was obsessed with covered bridges, and I think I have inherited some of that from her. I don't go driving around looking for them the way she did, but I still really like them, and that's gorgeous. So I kitted it up with all of the DMC, and we're going to be putting that on this piece of 18 count Aida from BeStitchMe in Ledger. And I'm going to unfold this all the way. So to be that. That's the perfect fall vibe for that piece. So I think it's going to look really good. And it's, it's mostly full coverage, except you can still see sky in different places and then obviously around the edges. So I thought this was perfect. I think those fall foliage colors are really going to pop off of this. So I love it. I actually had a couple pieces of Ledger and I went back and forth on how big I wanted this to be because I think the other one is a 25 count. Even maybe. I can't remember off the top of my head, but it was going to be really small. And I decided I didn't want to do that with this one. So I went with the 18 count. So it's not going to be huge, but it's not going to be teeny tiny either. Let's see. How many more do I have that I pulled out? Just one. One more. This is in the bag that I got at StitchCon this year. I think it's Black Cat. But I can't find the thing. I'm pretty sure I mentioned it in my video back then. So cute. These little anthropomorphic animals doing their art. So this is a pattern I picked up at StitchCon. And it also gives me those Halloween vibes. This is As Above, So Below. We love them. And I am going to put this on this piece of 18 count Aida in Galaxy that I picked up when I went to Mystic Fabrics in July. And I decided I think I'm going to put it on this half. It'll have the purple, I think my idea, honestly, was to have the purple on the bottom. So I think that's going to look great on there. So that's all kitted up. That'll probably be an October start. I can't really start anything on Halloween ever because my son is still trick-or-treating age. So he, obviously wants to go out trick-or-treating in the neighborhood. And he's 11, so he still wants us to come with him. And while he still wants me to go with him, I'm all about that because I will miss it when it's gone. I guarantee it. So I don't really have a lot to do over the next couple months. Not a lot. Nothing to keep me busy. No 40 whips and how many? 1, 2, 3, like 6, 7 kitted projects. Plus there's Christmas ones and other random ones that are kitted up in there that I didn't bring out here because they weren't relevant. It's going to be fine, you guys. Plenty to do. It's going to get cold eventually, and I'm not going to want to be outside, and I'm going to have the time of my life. That's it for me. I'm going to wrap it up here because I think I'm getting hungry and a little loopy and honestly kind of warm. It's been cold-ish overnight here in Southwest Ohio, but it's getting a little warm during the day still. A little toasty in the sunshine, so it's all right. We have kind of false fall, and then we'll have summer again. And then in October sometime, we'll really hit fall. It'll be okay. I hope everybody has a great next couple of weeks. Are you kidding up anything to start for fall and Halloween? If you are, let me know what it is because I might want to kit it up too and add it to my ever-growing pile of things I want to get accomplished. And plus, I just like to see what you picked. And if you've gotten your market stuff, I also want to see that. So let me know. I know some people are starting to get them in. Other than that, I'm done, and I will see you guys in 2 weeks. Bye, y'all.